keep cracking on. So that's excellent. When did you first start thinking, I'm starting to get quite good at this game, and start being aware of how you were getting into potentially scholarship golf?
Ooh, good question. Think when
Was there a
when I was
defining
around.
moment?
No, I can't remember a defining moment. I must have been probably around 4 or 5 handicap,
Yeah,
and I'd come down quite quickly. And I think I shot like an under par round, and when I was a little bit younger, I thought 1 under par round, on top of the
yeah,
world,
that's the one.
which isn't
Yeah.
isn't the worst mindset to have, because I pushed on from there. Yeah, I can't think of a defining moment though.
Can't think of one moment, but it was when
No,
you were starting to
yeah, I
get a little bit
remember.
better, dipping under par.
It was an agency. Yeah, it was an agency that got hold of me. I played well in a few competitions, and they reached out to a lot of people. I was just lucky
Yeah,
enough to be able to, pursue it.
great. What for the juniors, and we've obviously got a couple in here. I've seen them tick through. What sort of tournaments? You talked about these agencies looking at you. What sort of tournaments were they? Were they just like club ones, inter club? Were they
These
regional?
ones, yeah, these ones were mainly club, a little bit of county,
Yeah,
and I played a few on the Lee Westwood Golf Tour. I don't know if it's actually called that,
yeah,
or if it's Westwood Golf Tour or what, but I played a few on there. And that's how I got my name out there, really.
yeah, and just put in some good scores at the right time, and
Yeah.
just had some contacts, and before you know
Mm-hmm.
it, you're on a plane off to Arizona.
No, that's where I ended up.
Ah, that's great. That's
That's
great.
where that's where I finished.
There we
Yeah,
go. So,
that's
okay. So, talk me through the agency process for those wannabe scholarship athletes. Easy, hard. What were some of the steps that you remember taking? Obviously, there's some visa stuff that has to go into it.
cool.
How
Visa's
easy
not
or
fun.
how hard was the process?
Uh, I'd say it's probably quite a hard process. With the visa is the main issue.
Yeah,
I had to take a gap year because I didn't. They have a weird education system out there. Basically, when you go to university out there, you study English, maths, all the core subjects again.
yeah,
So what they require is all core subjects, and I didn't have a history GCSE. I dropped it when I went up to year 10. So I had to take a gap year and then get my history GCSE. So
yeah,
it took me a little bit longer than what I actually should. In terms of working with the agency, it was pretty easy because you pay them, they do most of the hard work.
yeah.
But getting the visa, making sure the paperwork is filled out correctly is the difficult part of it.
Yeah, and with the footballers that I worked with in the past at Eastern, it was always the agencies for us done a great job of putting it all in place and saying, right, okay, you need to go do this, 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 and this. So you knew all of the steps that you had to do. It was then just doing it. So, like you said, going trying to get your visa sorted, um, traveling down maybe sometimes to the embassy. That there's normally a bit of hard work and
That wasn't fun. That was
but
8 hours I waited in the embassy.
nice. And then ask some weird questions and try not to look nervous, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't imagine it being the nicest experience, but obviously a worthwhile one. Um,
Yes,
so
it was. Yeah.
you were first at Oklahoma State, which is
No,
no.
no.
Oh no, there was somewhere before this.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
first year and a half, I was at a school called University of Cumberland,
yeah,
which is in Kentucky, the state of Kentucky. Small private school, really good golf team with really good players. But I decided that I wanted to move on.
yeah,
And so that's when I moved to Southeastern Oklahoma State, which is a Division II school.
yeah.
And yeah, that's where I graduated. And then once I graduated from there, I then went to go work in Phoenix, Arizona, more specifically Scottsdale. I worked at Greyhawk Golf Club
Yeah.
there as a pro for a year.
The because I don't quite know. I don't quite understand how it works. But there's like a junior. Is there a junior then a senior? Two different types of
Yeah, so it
schools.
goes. Yeah, so no. So I'll do it in order. It goes freshman,
Perfect.
sophomore, junior, senior.
Right. Yeah. See that's just seems like it's all
Yeah,
like
yes.
randomly made up. Junior's the third
That's
from
just
la-
American.
Junior's the third one along. How does that make sense?
Yeah, I've no idea.
So what why did you sorry, I think you touched back on it, but what made you jump across from Kentucky State to then Oklahoma?
um, I the situation in Kentucky was a little bit iffy. You know, it was about 45-minute drive to the golf course each day.
Yeah.
The coach wasn't the most pleasant coach in the world. He wasn't,
Yeah.
not someone you want to play bad golf in front of,
Yeah.
which happens. Trust me.
Yeah.
So
Everyone plays bad golf.
halfway through, yeah, everyone, yeah, get over it.
Yeah.
I think it was halfway through second year. I just decided I got to go. And then Southeast, the agency helped me out again because we already paid the fee. So you've paid the whole thing, really. So Southeastern got hold of me. A few other schools got hold of me, but Southeastern seemed like the best one.
Right.
And I'm really glad I ended there with all with the team. It was good.
Good. And just talk us through at Southeastern what a standard day as a collegiate athlete looks like.
Wow. It would start during the week. So start like a Monday.
What times wake up?
Oh God. We had 6 a.m. workouts, 5 days a week. Unless we were in season, then it was 3 days a week. So 5 days a week, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Get back, make breakfast, go to class till from 8 till 1 or 2, whatever your schedule was like. And then as soon as everyone is done with class, you then get on a team bus and you're on the golf course until dark.
Nice.
And then up till 2 o'clock in the morning, waking up.
Repeat Monday to Friday.
Yeah, team no sleep.
And I think and talking to current athletes or previous scholarship athletes, what I think new potential students don't quite understand is how heavy the days are. And we think over here, like a heavy day, especially coming out of school, and I definitely was at school, like, yeah, I'm 9 till 3, like that's a full day. And then you hear like the scholarship athletes like working out at 6 o'clock in the morning for an hour, then going to class, and then being at the golf club until dusk, dark, and repeating that, and trying to find a social life in that as well. Trying to stay connected at home, trying to integrate with being in the American life. It definitely seems more challenging than what it appears to be for me.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely was a challenge, but it was an amazing experience, and yeah, it was. I wouldn't change it for the world. It was the best 5 years of my life.
Great, 5 years in total, hey? That sounds like a good one to me.
Yeah, 4 years in college and a year of work and that.
What at Southeastern, what golf course was it?
Say that again. You cut out.
At Southeastern, what golf course was it?
I had 3 golf courses.
No, not yeah. In typical
nice.
American, typical stateside golf, you had 3. Nice.
Yeah, we had our main one was Chickasaw Point, which was about 10 minutes drive. That was always ranked in the top 5 public golf courses in Oklahoma. There's a 100 out of bounds on every shot, many sides. Then another one was Texas, because Durant, where southeastern Oklahoma is, was on the Texas border. We spent a lot of time in Texas. One of them in Texas called Tanglewood, which was a pretty average one, and then Stone Creek Club, I think it was called. That was tough for 7,600 yards, playing
Nice.
40 miles per hour wind. And I
Nice.
don't hit that far, so it was pretty challenging.
We'll definitely come on to those discussions. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Southeastern, you said was Div 2 school, Div 2 for golf.
Yes, Division 2. Yeah.
What was Div 2 standard like, and what did a typical fixture competition look like?
Div 2 standard is really good, especially in the top 25 teams in the nation. We mainly, for the 2.5 years I was there, the first year and a half, we floated around top 50.
Yeah.
Got down to 30, I think, at one point. And then in my final year, we actually made it to national championships and broke into the top 25.
Nice.
And then at nationals got 10th. But
Good.
those Division 2, that some of the players that play in there are now on PG Tour, or, you know, on was it Corn Ferry now? Yeah,
Corn
it's Corn
Ferry,
Ferry
yeah.
Tour. So top class players. Just I remember playing at nationals with this kid from Colombia. I think he was from. First hole, 630-yard par 5, goes driver 4-iron to about 2 foot.
Bang, take that.
I'm like, I've gone driver 6-iron, pitch and wedge.
Plotted down the hole, and he's just gone straight over the top. Kabang. See ya.
Yeah,
Eagle start. Nice one.
He did
Thanks for
look
coming.
after and he said, "That's the best shot I've ever hit."
I should think so.
In terms of
and
tournaments and all
yeah,
that, we play in about 5 or 6 each semester. So you had fall and spring semester, with the spring semester being the most important of your rankings.
yeah,
Turning up to a tournament, you get practice round. We didn't fly to most places. We drove, which some of them were anywhere from 6 to 12-hour drive.
yeah.
You turn up, practice round, go to bed at a decent time, and wake up early because you usually have a morning tea time, and then you play 6 holes, and then 18 the following day.
Nice. So a few rounds over a couple of days.
Yeah. Probably playing. We're in season. You're probably playing 5 or 6 rounds of golf a week.
Yeah. Nice.
Which is a dream. I know. It's great.
Oh well, mate, it's can't be. Well, at the minute, right? At the minute, we couldn't think of anything better right now.
Yeah. Oh.
Talk to us about how, like, not just golf, but how scholarship athletes are, let's say, treated around campus. What are the typical? If you were talking to somebody who was now going out any sport, what would you say to them in terms of, right, scholarship? This is what you don't realize until you get out there. You are treated like X, Y, and Z.
I'm not going to say royalty because that's a little bit too much. But it's quite cliquey out there. Americans love their sports, and if you play any sport, you get along with each other. I was with the tennis team a lot. I was with the American football team a lot. We didn't have a English football team, but I was with American footballers a lot. Baseballers, basketball players. It's just everyone congregates together, and then you have sororities and fraternities, the non-athletes, studying. It's cliquey. Everyone's kind of
in their own little
goes
teams,
off in their
groups.
Athletes, non-athletes.
Yeah.
And
you get pretty well looked after. You mentioned royalty.
Yeah, very well looked after. Especially if you have trouble with like a class or something, you can almost get your coach to email your tutor, or just give him extra help, or he's going to be missing this day. Can do this another time. Can you take this test a different day?
Yeah, there was a little bit of persuasion going around.
A little bit of persuasion.
Yeah, and obviously free kit. Talk us a little bit about the sort of scholarship offer and what that meant to you financially.
The first school I was at, Cumberland's quite an expensive school. It was, I say, it was earlier. I say it was private, quite expensive, but I got a lot of scholarship money, so I covered a decent amount of it. When I
Good.
transferred to Southeastern, it was a fully public school, so it was a lot cheaper. And also the offer that I got for the scholarship, the amount I got, sorry, got a lot of it. So I was very lucky there. That's one of the reasons I moved there as well, is how cheap it really was.
Yeah, and that's what I think when especially younger athletes who are maybe looking at it in 3, 4 years time don't understand that you get a variant level of scholarship, right? As some people will offer you X amount and some
Hmm.
people will cost X amount. So that'll differ between where you go, and that almost depends on how well they see you, right? So if you send over
Yeah,
rubbish
yeah, they'll
footage
offer you more
and
money than you are really.
yeah, exactly. So a little bit, I don't quite know how it works in golf. Perhaps you can help me, but from other team sport perspectives, especially, it's a lot of highlight reel clips, a lot of combine testing style. How high can you jump? What are your anthropometric measurements? They'll often send over if you are a tall, strong athlete. In football, sending over your best highlights of defenders winning headers and last tackles and distributing the ball. What's that like from a golf perspective? Do they just look at your handicap and go, "Yeah, he seems all right"?
Yeah. The English handicap system is a lot different to the American handicap. So
Yeah,
they do look at that, but not, they don't go into detail because it's a lot easier to be off a lower handicap in America. So when I went out there, I was actually off 3 handicap. So really, it's not that great out there.
yeah,
In their eyes,
yeah,
they're thinking, oh no, don't really need that. So what I done, and this is help with the agency, is you do a swing video.
yeah.
So I played a few holes. I done, I think it was pitch, wedge, 7 iron, driver swings, chipping, putting, and then played a few holes. Got my friends to record it. Attached with that, with a few competition scores, what
Yeah,
the average score was from the past year. And that was how I first got over there. And then obviously when I was over there and transferred, they need still look at it, but I didn't have
yeah,
swing videos that I could put together. So they just look at your record, really, how you done in college, in that college.
yeah, yeah. Good, good. And then they're trying to make a decision based on looking at, like you said, how well you score, looking at potential of athlete, looking at where they can see in swings and chipping and putting, and I suppose
Yeah.
some cover letter stuff. I suppose you have to write something
Yeah, I
like some document
had
stuff.
some references.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good to have some references. I had about 3 or 4, I believe, so that helped a lot.
perfect. All right, let's move on from college. Let's move on to Greyhawk in sunny Arizona, the desert of Arizona. How do you keep a golf club
Oh, I
running
missed that
in
place.
Arizona?
Well, Greyhawk, a little background. Greyhawk is one of the best golf courses I've ever played or seen. It's just an amazing facility. It's crazy how good it is.
Yeah,
In season, which is usually around this time of year, you're looking at about $400 to play, just 18 holes
nice,
before tax. So you're
nice,
looking at about 460. Um, 30 hole facility, and it's kept in perfect condition. About 50, 60 greenkeepers every single day. They start on the first hole and they work through 18 holes, making it perfect for the people who
nice.
are coming to play today. It was an unreal experience, and it was chaotic because in season I was checking in, me personally, but there was about 450 people to check in,
Yeah,
working behind the desk. And then you can
checking
imagine
their tee
450
times.
people between 2 golf courses. The pace is always going to be good.
Yeah,
So you get a lot of people phoning up, complaining. And we set a 4.5 hour pace, which sounds like a lot, but you'd be surprised how many
if it's a
people say,
tough
oh,
golf course,
that's
if
too
it's
much time.
long, yeah,
The toughest one was called Raptor, and that was a different beast. That was standard scratch 4 over before you even teed off.
nice, nice. his 4 strokes down the drain straight off the bat.
Yeah, yeah.
For those of you that haven't heard of Greyhawk or seen it, when we're done or now, if you pop open a new tab and just search it, just from the pictures, it looks stunning. It does look a different kettle of fish. So
yeah, it's actually it was meant to be this year. They're hosting the NCAA D1 national championships there for 3 years straight. I don't know how it's going to work now because it's meant to be happening probably in a few weeks. I think it's end of May. It usually happens. It's cancelled out there.
Yeah.
So it will be on TV next year. It hosts so many events. Has PGA Junior League Nationals, which is televised. AJGA Thunderbird Invitational, which is, I don't believe that's televised, but it's one of their major ones. It's had PGA Tour events. It's a great golf course.
Yeah, look, the pictures make it look absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. So very lucky. Very lucky. Talk to us about the team at Greyhawk. This is your chance to name drop.
Talk about the what, sorry?
The team at Greyhawk. This is your chance to name drop.
So I was a pro, but at Greyhawk, it's not enough to just be a pro. You have to be a top coach to be able to coach out there. So I only coached juniors. So we had 7 instructors out there. All are ranked in top 100. The most well-known one for people, it would be Peter Costas.
Yep.
He was not the main guy because he was mainly, he was commentating.
Broadcasting. Yeah.
His son, John Costas. Yeah, broadcasting. His son, John Costas, he was actually my coach. He's a great player, great coach as well.
Yeah.
Jeff Yerkowicz, who played in the PGA Championship 2007. So great player, top 100 ranked.
Yeah.
Andrew Getson, who is Phil Mickelson's coach. Also coaches Kevin Streelman a few times.
Yeah.
Stan Utley. Not many. I thought people would have heard of Stan Utley more so over here. I think he's more of a big name out in America. He's a top 5 short game instructor in the world. I think something like that.
Nice.
And there was, I can't remember, Paul Trittler and Kay Kennedy. And so 7 top 100 coaches
in one facility, in one learning block. That's pretty impressive.
Two driving ranges with double-ended.
Nice.
So they can spread out evenly. Most of the time, one range would only be open, but they'd managed to sort it between them.
And I'm sure the grass hitting tees, I'm sure they were pure.
Oh, perfect.
Dreamy.
I'll send you a video. You'll see how perfect it is.
Don't, I'll get jealous. I'll be out there. I'll be ringing Peter up myself.
I'm jealous. I could be back out there right now playing.
Exactly. I've just seen in the comments we've had Josh popped up. What was your handicap in England when you went out to America? And it was 3, did you say a minute ago?
It was 3, yeah. When I first went out.
There we go. There's the answer. And Paul's dropped in a link to Greyhawk. There you go. Look, perfect. So if anyone wants to have a look.